Think about this for a second. What if someone knew every single place you've been this week? Not just the obvious things like the coffee shop you stopped at or the fact you went to work, but the exact routes you took, the times you left your house, even how fast you walked, depending on whether you were late or relaxed. What if they also knew every message you've sent, every late-night Google search, every private argument you've had with your partner, and even the random websites you scroll at 2 in the morning when you think no one else is paying attention? What if all of that wasn't just collected, but stored, analyzed, and ready to be used against you at any moment? And here's the scary part. It already is. So here's the big question. Who actually owns this endless trail of data you leaving behind every single day? Is it yours? Is it your government's? Is it the massive tech companies whose apps and platforms you use? And more importantly, what could someone do with it if they really wanted to? What happens if a foreign power gets hold of it? Could your private messages suddenly become the tool that shuts you up or turns you into a pawn? Could an election be swayed not by armies of people knocking on doors, but by a few invisible nudges in your feed, designed to push your emotions in just the right direction? And if one company or one government controls enough of this data, do they in effect control reality itself? Stick around, because that's exactly what we're going to dig into. Today, we're unpacking how the most valuable resource in the world isn't oil or gold or even lithium anymore. It's data. And the scariest thing? Most of us are giving it away for free. For decades, the big power struggles were over tangible resources. Countries fought wars over land, over energy, over minerals. But now, in the 21st century, what drives everything, from politics to profits to propaganda, is information. Every like you give on social media, every search you make, every photo you upload, every step tracked by the phone in your pocket, even your car, your fridge, your smart speaker, all of it is logging information about you. And unlike oil, data doesn't run out when you use it. It multiplies. The more you interact, the bigger and more detailed your digital portrait becomes. Now, who actually has that portrait? The obvious answer is big tech. Google. Meta. That's Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. Between them, they have billions of users. They know your habits, your purchases, your friends, your contacts, your emails, even what time you usually go to bed. Then you've got governments. The United States has agencies like the NSA that hoover up unimaginable amounts of information, often working quietly with those same companies. And then there's China, which has built the most comprehensive state-run surveillance system in human history. There, the government isn't just monitoring for security. They're reweaving it into daily life through systems like the social credit score, rewarding or punishing people based on their digital footprint. And we shouldn't forget the companies that run the pipes of the internet itself. Telecoms and infrastructure providers who see flows of information before it's even encrypted. Between Silicon Valley and Beijing, two poles of power now hold most of humanity's digital life in their hands. And that makes the custodians of this data unimaginably powerful. Because it's not just about knowing you, it's about predicting you. They know when you're tired. They know when you're stressed. They know what persuades you to click and what makes you hesitate. And if they know that about millions of people, they can nudge entire societies without anyone ever realizing it's happening. Take Cambridge Analytica. That was a scandal a few years back, where a political consulting firm harvested Facebook data, built psychological profiles of voters, and then targeted them with hyper-tailored ads designed to push their emotions in just the right direction. Some people got messages designed to make them hopeful, others to make them fearful, others to make them angry, and suddenly, elections weren't about mass messaging anymore. They were about precise, invisible manipulation. If you can do that at scale, you can destabilize whole democracies without firing a single shot. Or look at China's system. Citizens are scored based on their online behavior, their purchases, even who they associate with. If you criticize the government, your score drops. If you buy the right products, it rises. The consequences are real. A low score can mean losing access to train tickets, flights, or even loans. Imagine living in a world where your ability to move or work depends on how obediently you behave online. That's what happens when data isn't just collected but weaponized. And these are just the obvious examples. The truth is, data can be exploited in dozens of ways, each scarier than the last. Disinformation campaigns can be tailored down to the individual, so fake news feels like it was written just for you. Bots and troll farms can amplify these narratives until it looks like everyone believes them. That's not a debate anymore, that's engineering consensus. Then there's surveillance and espionage. We've seen spyware like Pegasus, sold to governments around the world, which can infect your phone and essentially turn it into a surveillance device. It can read your texts, listen to your calls, activate your camera, track your movements, all without you ever realizing. Journalists, activists, even heads of state have been targeted with it. Once someone has that kind of access, they don't just know your secrets, they know your networks, your sources, your entire life. Think about blackmail. If a foreign government hacks a politician's private messages, that's leverage. You can silence them, you can flip them, you can ruin them. Imagine how many careers could be destroyed instantly if the right private chats or browsing histories were made public. That's power. Then you've got supply chain attacks. The SolarWinds hack showed how dangerous this can be. Hackers compromised one company's software updates, and suddenly they had access to thousands of government and corporate networks around the world. That kind of breach isn't just about stealing secrets. It is about planting a time bomb. Once you're inside, you can wait. You can sabotage when it's most damaging. And we can't ignore economic espionage. Stealing research and development data, trade secrets, or patents can give a country's industries an enormous advantage. Why spend billions on research when you can just copy what someone else has done? Cyber theft has already cost industries billions, from biotech to defense to green energy. And now, there's a whole new frontier: artificial intelligence and deepfakes. All of that stolen or harvested data is gold for training AI systems that can mimic voices, faces, writing styles. Imagine a fake video of a president declaring war, or a fake audio recording of a CEO announcing bankruptcy. Markets could crash overnight. Wars could be triggered by a convincing forgery. Reputations could be destroyed beyond repair. And here's the thing: this isn't about some future dystopia. This is already happening in fragments right now. We've already seen deepfakes used in scams, tricking companies into transferring millions of dollars by mimicking a CEO's voice. That's today, not 10 years from now. So why does this matter to you personally? Maybe you're thinking, I don't care. I've got nothing to hide. But here's the catch. It's not about you as an individual. It's about you as part of a pattern. Your one text message might not matter, but your data, combined with millions of others, can show what a population is feeling, fearing, believing. And that's how you can nudge elections. That's how you can monitor protests. That's how you can manipulate prices or even time shortages to create panic. Your data is like DNA, unique, valuable, and once it's out there, you can't get it back. So what can we actually do about it? As individuals, we can start by limiting what we share. Tighten your privacy settings. Don't overshare your location. Use encryption where you can. Two-factor authentication. Strong passwords. These are the basics, but they make a difference. For organizations, it's about adopting a zero-trust mindset. Don't assume anything in your network is safe. Minimize how much data you collect in the first place, because if you don't have it, it can't be stolen. Protect what you do have with encryption, segmentation, monitoring. And don't forget your supply chain. SolarWinds taught us that the weakest link could be outside your own walls. For governments and societies, it's about regulation and cooperation. GDPR in Europe has been one step, forcing companies to handle data more carefully. But we need more. We need international agreements on spyware, rules on how data can be traded or stored, and transparency about how political ads and content are targeted. Otherwise, we're sleepwalking into a future where invisible algorithms quietly decide what we see, what we think, and ultimately, how we act. Right now, data feels like the Wild West. Everyone's grabbing as much as they can, as fast as they can, and we're just giving away the gold nuggets of our lives in exchange for free apps and convenience. But if we don't wise up, those gold nuggets are going to be melted down and recast as chains. So the next time you unlock your phone and start scrolling, ask yourself, who's watching this? Who's recording it? Who could be using it? Not just to sell you a pair of trainers, but to influence what you believe, who you trust, even how you vote. Because the uncomfortable truth is that the battle for the future isn't going to be fought with tanks or missiles. It's already being fought with data. And whether we like it or not, every one of us is part of that war.